is a typical scene on any typical island on any typical day anywhere in the Bahamas. But journey with me, if you will, to this particular island. That's the site of the country's first post office. It's also the site of about 30 ruins of slave plantations. It's also where French pirates at one time would lie in wait for unsuspecting ships. This is Crooked Island. Welcome to On the Record. I'm your host, Jerome Sawyer. Our show this week is very unique in that we're going to follow the journey of a group of young men who have decided to try and breathe a little life into an almost dying community. It's not a unique scenario, but a very unique story. We invite you to take this journey with us as these men attempt to throw a lifeline to Crooked Island. Stay with us. Our journey continues right after this.
Hi, I'm here to tell you about the fastest way to purchase the vehicle you want right from home.
With SBT Japan, we import used cars from Japan straight to you.
Car ownership doesn't have to be hard. Go to sbtjapan.com and sign up for free. Search for the car you want, place your order, and make a payment using any one of our convenient payment options. Once you pay the duty and tax to our in-house broker, we will clear the vehicle and even deliver it straight to your home. Sounds too easy? Well, shouldn't it be?
Every time I'm in the Bahamas, I use REVGO Play.
Cut. Here come that fool. It's packing. Here he comes.
Yo.
Wait, Omar coming?
Boy, this REVGO Play, solid.
Rev, you and us together.
One America News Network, your leading source for the latest breaking national and international news. With nearly 4 times as many headlines as the other networks. Straight news, no speculation, no opinion, just the facts. Complete coverage 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. One America News Network, your source for credible news.
So you just follow the rocks. Follow your path. That's it, you straight to the bottom. Mother Nature said otherwise. No? Walk right through. You're not going to take? No? Okay. Watch the trees. Going right there. Go up. Take a picture. These dogs will been here for many years.
Settled by American loyalists in the late 1780s who established cotton plantations with over 1,000 slaves, Crooked Island could easily be titled one of the most unknown treasures in the Bahamas. Geographically, it is the largest in a group defining a large shallow lagoon called the Bight of Acklins. Neighboring Acklins, Long Key, and Castle Island share similar topography and history. At the height of the slavery era, the island teemed with plantations and slaves, well-to-do owners, and such. The Pittstown Post Office is said to be the first in the country, giving a glimpse into just how important this place once was.
Tell us a little bit about where we are and what's the story behind this.
This is called Bight Rock Lighthouse.
Uh-huh.
This was one of the last operational lighthouse in the Bahamas.
Okay.
It was two of them still standing right now is this one and the one at Castle Island.
Okay.
I know that they have one in REVGO as well.
Right.
Right. But in this part of the Bahamas, this was the last one.
This is the last lighthouse.
Right.
And what was this used for? What kind of ships or who did it use? What was it? Who did it direct it?
Yeah. Like say those big ships to go down into South America as they coming through.
Okay.
This was like a warning.
Right.
Because there's a lot of shoals and different things in the area.
Ah.
So it keeps them on guard to show them how close they are to land or something like that.
All right, cool.
Pittston was the first post office in the Bahamas. So, like say, if they have mails to bring to these islands and the boats cannot get into there, the person who will reside here will collect them and stock them in there until it's time, until they get to the land to deliver them to the postmaster or the person in charge so that they can get them to the prospective persons.
And they were held here in the lighthouse.
Right.
Fantastic.
But the old lighthouse at Bird Rock, one of about a dozen structures left in the country, is a grim reminder of what once was and what could be. A short boat ride to the enchanting lighthouse is a favorite for tourists. Many Crooked Islanders today share memories of treks here with parents and grandparents. They yearn to see it restored to a proper point of interest. It's a sad representation, and many other seemingly forgotten historical relics here.
Scoot up a little bit.
We have alligators here now, right? What?
Despite the dreams of what could be, the people of this large southeast island managed to keep the small economy moving with a reliance on tourism, fishing, and civil service jobs. Retired teacher Lucille Scavala spent 45 years educating children on the island. She watched a contracting economy and limited opportunities strip the population to a bare minimum.
I think that if it, had more employment on the island, more of the younger people would have stayed. And because when I started, I had a lot of young people around, but when they reached school leaving age, they all left and then went to Nassau.
Beulah Carroll is the head nurse at the Landrell Point Clinic. In the more than 20 years she's tended to the sick and shut-in, she too has seen the steady population decline.
When I came here, it was about maybe 400 persons. Now it's like 230. So it's dwindling down. What I would like to see happen is residents of Crooked Island that has left here already, if they can come back to the island and build maybe a second home so that, you could bring some income to the island, and then you could also encourage persons to come back. That would encourage them to come back. If every family come back and remodel their old homestead or just build a second home, and then they come periodically and spend a vacation time, I would love to see that.
The population is confined now to a mere 250 plus, yet the local and central government has to find the means to meet the needs of this community as if it were as large as any other in the country. Chief Councillor David Daxon is convinced the future is in investments.
I'm always of the thought on the point of view, if you could engage or have 3 or 4 the local persons invest in these small boutique hotels, this island will grow tremendously. If you consider a family of 4, let's say you have a family of 4, 10 families of about 4 persons relocate to Crooked Island. That's tremendous growth for the island of Crooked Island. But the challenge with that is finding gainful employment.
But living in the hurricane belt in the Bahamas presents a unique set of vulnerabilities. Hurricane Joaquin 3 years ago proved just how easily life can be interrupted. Alsec Delabo operates Sunset Beach in Majors Key, the widow and 17-year resident is still rebuilding.
Things were looking up before Hurricane Joaquin, you know. But Hurricane Joaquin came and just kind of broke up a lot of stuff, and we had to like go back to the beginning. I don't know if you came and saw this property after Hurricane Joaquin. This was as if a tornado had walked through and just dug up the place. And so that was a big setback. But I'm praying that God would be merciful and we wouldn't have any hurricane for another 100 years. so we could, you know, catch ourselves again. Because it takes years to accumulate these things, and then in a day or two, it's all gone, you know. It will take years to get them back.
Crooked Island was devastated along with Auckland and Long Island, but Crooked Island, since Hurricane Joaquin in 2015, a lot of the roads were damaged. Actually, the roads actually separated certain areas within the settlements, within the communities, and it was impossible. So the government at that time, they did some infrastructural work in the southern Bahamas, and a lot of roads now are being built. There are quite a bit of seawalls which are being built in the in the Seaview area, and mostly out in the eastern area, Major Ski and further up Thompson's area. And what we are seeing is that once those roads would have been completely built, and they're still in the process, we can see that it's going to open the doors for investment, it's going to open the doors for development, because persons, you know, once we have the infrastructural things in place, the roads, the telephone, the light, the power, it gives an invitation and it gives more of an appetite for persons to come. So
it's been very slow, and seeing, you know, we on these islands, it's almost like we're almost like forgotten.
We have the 8-man strength. It's a natural Viagra, so you don't need the pills. You know, we have the plant like stiff cough. We got love vine. We have 5 finger, and a lot of other herbal teas that's very good for you.
It's a wealth of entertainment with a touch of class and sophistication. A journey of the senses with an unparalleled sense of style. Discover hidden adventures that are cradled in the palms of paradise. Traverse the annals of human history and explore the farthest reaches of exclusivity. It's an excursion that few can afford, but all should experience. And it's only on AWE.
Hi, I'm Davrielle, and welcome to REV Tips, where we answer your most important REV service questions. Today's question is, how do I set up a REV My Account? It's super easy. To create a REV My Account, simply visit www.cablebahamas.com and click the My Account icon. Next, select the Create Account option. Please have a copy of your latest statement on hand. Enter the information as it appears on the statement to the respective areas on the form. When you have finished, click Create Account to continue with the process. Once you've registered your account, you can use your username and password to check your account balance, view past statements, and pay your bill online.
Your My Account credentials also give you access to REVGO Play and all other apps within our suite.
And that's your REV tip for this week. Thanks for watching, and be sure to join us next time.
Typical day. Yeah, typical day. Normally, we'll go with our clients and try to make them happy. Catch either we fish for tarpon, permit, bonefish, and we also do live bait fishing. So we have a variety of different options that the client can choose from. So that's basically what we do here on the island, you know, of course. My observation over the years of bone fishing, I see it a great need for the Minister of Fishery and Agriculture to take the time out to come down to these out islands and to take a half a day or a full day to go with the guide and clients and to see what it is to be a guide and to see what is required of the clients and the guides to make a bone fishing day a more successful and lucrative business.
Crooked Island is world-renowned for its bone and deep-sea fishing. Little wonder most of the island's tourism is based around seasonal fishing trips. On any given day, local eateries like Gibson's Restaurant are where you will find tourists before or at the end of a day of fishing. The native cuisine is cooked to order, and the chef always willing to accommodate special requests. It's what visitors come here for, a home away from home.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
It's a snapshot into how the people of Crooked Island make a living off of tourists who visit. The small, quaint, one-on-one interaction is what keeps guests coming back. Well, that and great food. Just up the street in Landrell Point, Eileen Moss runs the Casuarina Pines Villas. In 2000, she began operating the 7-villa property, attracting guests from the US, Europe, and as unique as Alaska.
So a lot of time, persons believe like, hey, when they hear about Crooked Island, it's so out of the way, it's so far south that, hey, we don't think there's much there to offer. But, you know, I just want to let the world know that it's a lot happening here in Crooked Island. And you can have accommodation, car rental, you know, with luxury service. So not because we are far south, that means that, you know, we don't have what it takes. Because a lot of persons, when they come down, they're very surprised, they're shocked to see what we have down here. But, you know, we try to make it best because, you know, we travel a lot, and when we travel, we see things, so we try our best to make it as comfortable as we can for persons who are coming down to visit.
In Majors Key, Angela Higgins' parent operates the Trophy Lodge for a foreign group. Her steady stream of mainly European fishermen could grow even more were it not for one major issue.
Crooked Island has the potential, and I would want to say and would like to say at this time that I believe anything that you put into this island business-wise can go, because the island is in dying need of uplifting or some progress. And we know with that comes challenges, but you know, once you have progress going on, there's going to be a little challenging, a little setback. And then another thing we have going on for us is the mailboat. We have the mailboat that comes here, and it's unreliable because sometimes when you're looking for it to come, it don't come, it doesn't show up. And so if we can have regular schedule on time and everything is working in that area, more airlift, I think we can go, the island can strive.
And the potential for tourism growth is evident. Sharon Scavala operates the only boutique and gift shop in Crooked Island.
Well, the need is here because I'm the only store here in Crooked, and everybody needs a little of everything. Okay, when I first started, I only started with the gift items, like souvenir gift items, and then after I saw the need for clothing and perfume and bath and body lotion and spray, and so, you know, time after time I just add 1 or 2 items, and that's where I'm at today.
She also operates the very successful CNS car rental, and business couldn't be better.
Extremely good, because, you know, for Landrell, you have people coming off the yachts, you have guests coming in every week, and so I'm mostly catered to tourists.
For those not so adventurous, Marcia Gibson operates Gibson's Taxi, which operates as a school bus and tourist taxi.
They enjoy the people. They enjoy us. You know, the warm hugs, the personality, you know, the friendship, you know. They enjoy all our beautiful scene and our fishing and all of that, the food, but most of all, they enjoy their company of being with us, with the natives.
The land-loving tourist can feast off of a diverse offering of historical and nature sites. Mackay Bluff, home to 15 caves, provides the ultimate hiking experience into the bushes and across rocky terrain into Generator Cave.
Why you call it Generator Cave? Because you have a generator in here, and when hurricane time, when everybody's got to shut the generator off, his generator licking. Some of the people who was well known to him, they come here and shelter from the hurricane, because how the bluff so high, the bluff used to protect the house from the strong breeze and stuff from the hurricane. So persons who was cool with him, they come chill with them, shelter the hurricane.
And the generator was safe.
So you're watching TV, you're listening to music while everybody
perishing.
Okay, this is what we call Mackay Bluff Cave. And in here you have the rat bats flying around. You can see them flying around. And then you have what they call guano. Guano is the rat bat droppings. That's
hey.
That's
I see him. I see him right there. See.
That's for fertilizer and stuff.
Oh, okay.
This cave, as you can see, used to house the generator for the guys who own the house on the hill.
They don't buy, right?
They don't buy.
A little down is the Cave of Carvings, some possibly dating as far back as the golden age of piracy.
These are all ancient markings from back in the pirate days. If you notice, you see a skull right here.
Oh, yeah. All right.
You see another one up here. And this is a drawing of a gun, look like.
Okay.
And then you see another one over here. You see an X, there's a cross. You see a marking right here, there's a head and probably foot or whatever.
I think someone's counting down.
No treasure map, eh?
Well, I saw there were some arrows pointing into this direction. One arrow pointing from that direction. One arrow pointing from here.
Really, this is an old marking too, eh?
And one of the more breathtaking sights of them all, Battle Cave.
See the holes here? These bird nests. Them holes, the bird nests.
Okay. All it is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see it. There we go.
D'Angelo Knowles operates Quack Tours, a personal guide to tourists wishing to enjoy the island adventures. And as long as you're up for the challenge, he will get you there, as we found out on our trek to the ruins of the Moss Plantation.
This is the Moss Plantation. This is the pillar here. Show you where it was made in 1795. This was a slave plantation. I searched in archives and I found some stories about it. Whereas the persons who owned this plantation was Charles and Kate Moss. They had a numerous amount of slaves here. But, they went to prison for 3 years. They flogged one of their slave women and put her in a sweatbox for a considerable amount of time. And the plantation owner from the Farquharson plantation came to visit here and he heard about it. And they had a court for that. And they sentenced her to 3 years in prison. And the lady who they flogged, she ended up taking over the plantation until they returned from prison.
It holds something about ecosystem? Yeah, something about ecosystem for real.
Something. Yeah, we see the mine and there's fresh water.
Ah, okay.
Get some water.
Okay. You can't get it over.
Something unusual running this. You follow the run?
Oh,
That's a dilly tree?
Yes.
I think I find where the Queen Jewel is in the middle of the rock.
That's what they have.
Beautiful, man. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I mean, this is what this is all about, man. Rediscovering our history, our heritage. And I'm just happy and proud to be a part of this, man. You know, thank you guys for coming out and enjoying this with me. We got Turtle Sound on the left, and we got the beautiful seas and oceans on the right. You can't really ask for more than that. Jerome looked tired.
We have a very intriguing historical perspective, Crooked Island. The historical sites are tremendous in terms of if it's secured, if it's made accessible, people can utilize this to encourage more visitors to come, not just the bonefish or the sport fishermen, but also the those who are interested in the historical sites, as well as some time back before Hurricane Joaquin, we used to have visitors come who were just interested in bird watching, who were interested in well, they used to go searching for like the reptiles and the butterflies and all of that. And so if we could put all of this together in a package, as well as our historical sites, we could actually have visitors coming year round, and the whole community will benefit from it.
These cultural, historical, and heritage sites have even greater potential, but access and preservation are ongoing challenges.
And we actually cleaned the pathway going into these historical caves. And of course, you would have an opportunity to go to Mackay's Caves. It's by the airport. What we did, we first energized the community and we let them know the importance of trying to preserve and restore this for not only visitors, but for their families, even for them personally. So we went on a campaign and we started to clean these sites out. We started to preserve them. And we also want to continue that campaign.
You can't take it home, you wash it off in fresh water, and you put it right in your pot, and you boil it,tain red like cherry. Now how you know when it's finished? If you see you boil it, you can boil it a couple of times. If you boil it over and over, you see the red getting a little pinkish, a little thin, then you know that one's finished. And you get another piece. Put it in there.
Hi, I'm here to tell you about the fastest way to purchase the vehicle you want right from home. With SBT Japan, we import used cars from Japan straight to you. Car ownership doesn't have to be hard. Go to sbtjapan.com and sign up for free. Search for the car you want, place your order, and make a payment using any one of our convenient payment options. Once you pay the duty and tax to our in-house broker, we will clear the vehicle and even deliver it straight to your home. Sounds too easy? Well, shouldn't it be?
We are in our second season of On the Record, and we thank you, our viewing audience, for allowing us into your homes every Thursday at 8 p.m. We value your opinion and we want you to be a part of our discussions. So make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram and comment on our exciting topics. Remember, it's all on the record.
That's me everywhere. Doors closed, Shiva. Doors secure. Cabin secured. All right, clear.
Antonico Gibson, a native Crooked Islander, is a pilot and owner of Bahamas EVAC, an emergency air transportation company. He, along with Robert Gibson Jr., a graphic artist and owner of Square One Media Group, a graphic design company, have created Forever Crooked Island. They hope that through their efforts and the support of the community, they will tell the outside world about Crooked Island, its offerings with teeming fishing grounds, historic sites, and unique people, and ultimately encourage Crooked Islanders to come back and at the same time empower each of them to invest in their communities.
One day I was Googling something, trying to find some issues, some information on Crooked Island. And what I found really troubled me. There was a little bit of information. There was some information that came from some of our winter residents. And it was fine information, but it was really dated and it was really old. And I knew Crooked Island to have more and to be able to offer more. And so I thought to myself, well, I have a skill set. What can my skill set bring to give back to the island? What really provoked me to do Forever Crooked Island is there was so little out there about Crooked Island. But I knew better. I knew that our island had much to offer. I knew that just with the right packaging, we could be a gem in the Bahamas. All we need is a little bit of packaging, a little polishing, and we could be the stars that I know that we are, right? So Forever Crooked Island, I went through names. That stuck with me. And so I want to break down what this movement is about. Forever Crooked Island is a movement to bring positive change to the island of Crooked Island.
An organized town meeting proved to be an eye-opener and a stark reality check to what is happening on the island.
You know, everything that we are is because of you. I mean, just look around in this room. Just look around in this room. I remember when we used to have programs in here, and it would be parked wall to wall with one small island on the corner, you know, and it was amazing, man. But now, what's left of Crooked Island is in this room, and that's the reality of it. If we don't wake up and realize where we are, if you can wake up in 10 years and realize it can be too late. I mean, Grammy them then gone. You know, they're gone. I mean, how many of us have children here now? How many of us have children that live here on the island? No, seriously, I want you to raise your hand because this is important. If you have children here, raise your hand. That ain't even half of the room. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, you guys are here on the ground, your hands are in the dirt. We know what you're doing. And, you know, we want to come home. But we have to have something to come home to provide for our children the same way that you have provided for us. And we want to come home, but we have to have something to come home to. So Forever Crooked Island, Square One Media Group, Bahamas EVAC Services, that is what this is about. It's not about, you know, trying to come up here with the fancy clothes and all of this good talk, and it's enough is enough. You know, we are at this point where we have to realize that we are losing this fight if we don't do something about it.
As young Crooked Islanders, the perspective they bring is certainly unique. Getting the people of these settlements to utilize the technology available is one aspect.
I want everyone to know, every time you take a picture in Crooked Island, when you post it, post, hey, Crooked Island, hashtag Crooked Island, hashtag Forever Crooked Island, hashtag Landra Point. These things make your photo visible on the internet. So when people search Crooked Island, the hashtags will pull up. And so when you do these things, if you're driving on the road, you see a bunch of crabs on the road, that's something interesting to the island. Just pull over, take a picture, share it. I know a lot of us may not be social media inclined, but all of that is being great marketers to the island. Yeah. When you bake that nice bread, hey, take a picture of it, post it, and be like, hey, Crooked Island women know how to bake bread, post. You know what I'm saying? If best flour cake, all this good stuff. When you bone fishing, hey, take that photo and share, because nowadays, those persons in Europe or in international, when they want to find about Crooked Island, they're going to go to the internet. And if there's no content, like what I found, there was few content. If there's no content, then will never be found. We have to share. And especially if you want to offer a product to the tourists, you want to offer a package. If I'm a tourist and I'm searching internet and I say I'm going to Crooked Island, but I have to pay for a ticket, and I got to pay for booking, and I got to pay the bonefish guy, and I got to pay for a tour, I might be turned off, be like, nah. Whereas if we come together, package it, and say, this one price, you get 3 days stay, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Which one is more ideal? Which one's more? The package. However, it can take us to come together and say, hey, guess what? I know I don't do your thing as good as you. And that's fine, because God made us to do separate. Let's come together, form this thing. Different communities. Let's not just keep it all along Launch Point. Let's mix it up. There are people who have great products out of Launch Point.
And then sharing in a vision of a greater island that is more than just a placeholder on a map, possibly a cruise ship port of call.
So when me and Bobby sat down, this was about a year ago, Bobby came to me, we sat in my office and we was talking, he said, Nico, you know, I really want to go home. And I felt that we connected because I want to come home. You know, that's just what it is. So we sat down, we had a conversation, I said, okay, Bobby, I don't know how we can do this, but we can do it, right? We sat there, we prayed. That was the first thing that we did. And Bobby came up with this thing, and he wanted to do this in 5 years. And I said, no. If we're going to do this, we can start now. We ain't going to start in 5 years. We can start now. In 5 years, I'm going to be home. I ain't trying to be starting in 5 years. But like I say, everything takes a step. Now, the same way that we came together to do this is the same way that we need all of you to come together to move forward.
So the meeting was excellent. Excellent.
Anything you think from it, or?
Oh man, yes man, we made this advertisement a long time ago. And we are living by faith. And faith got us here. Well, it was okay, you know. It was very informative. I was able to get something together so I could be looking forward to it.
It's a great meeting, man. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Some positive stuff.
It was good. Yeah. A lot of information.
All right, good stuff.
It was great, man. It's very encouraging.
And I appreciate all the input. I hope people encourage and support these young people in what was said. It's a good plan for the growth and development of Crooked Island. Everything was well put together.
Tell me about the meeting.
It was very inspiring. You know, I hope people actually support these men because they're really moved from Crooked Island. It was really positive and inspiring.
But before the dreams and expectations of these men and others like them can happen, there are still some serious impediments.
The government is mandated to provide services throughout the land and breadth of the Bahamas. Whether it's a small island, whether it's a rugged island, we go on Inago, wherever it is. And what we discovered here in Crooked Island is that the boat service comes in once a week. And there is a particular week in the month when the boat doesn't come. So basically we have 4 weeks in a month. 1 week in that month, the boat doesn't come. And what it does, there's a backlog in goods and services and supplies, and persons find themselves working on what they would have received a week ago, have to stretch that for 2 weeks. So that really seems to be a challenge in terms of having produce, in terms of having supplies, and in terms of having products coming to the island.
No proper docking at all. The boat, if you were to drive around the corner, they just let the ramp down on the hard surface right out to the sea, and they do a roll-on, roll-off cargo for the island.
And why is that an issue?
If the weather's rough, the boat can't dock, they'll have to go straight into Auckland or bite in the back of Long Key until the weather allows them to get in there.
Sometimes there were persons who would come to the airport and they would have to wait for actually 2 weeks just to get a flight to get out to go to Nassau. Because presently, the Bahamas Air flight is servicing Crooked Island and Auckland's. Auckland's being our neighboring island, our neighboring sister. It's only about 5 minutes away by plane and about 10 minutes by ferry. But that plane, that has to service both Crooked Island and Aucklands. And normally there's only a certain quota for the amount of persons that's coming in. Then too, what tends to be a challenge is that depending on the weight of the plane, they may go to Auckland's first, let off, and then come here, or they may come here first, let off, and then go Auckland's. So certain persons, they're not allowed to get on the flight because of that.
If you look at Bahamas here, they come here twice a week, and there's always a challenge of airlift for the passengers. We have where they cannot land or take off with no more than 35 passengers from the Colonel Hill Airport. And that is the challenge in terms of persons wanting to move to and from Crooked Island.
It's a challenge getting anglers here at times because, you know, for the island, we only have Bahamas Air, which is twice per week, which is Wednesday and Saturday. So it poses a challenge because most of our anglers really don't want to stop into Nassau. They want to just come over and experience their islands.
I believe the flights are a hindrance to visitors because they have to overnight in Nassau before coming over here, so it becomes more expensive. If they were able to fly directly, you know, just come to Nassau and just take another plane and come to the island, it would be good for them. And I think that is one of the things that keep us back.
At least, okay, for now, Bahamas Air, I noticed they would only bring in like 25 passengers because of the short runway. But if we have an extension of runway, then they'll be able to accommodate much more. And even a jet, who knows?
We could use assistance in terms of Ministry of Works with the water. We know that there are some areas that doesn't have the potable drinking water. So if we could use this interview probably to assist us in terms of reaching out, then that will do quite well for us here on the island. And of course, once those things are in place, it really would open the door for more development, more growth, for even the descendants to come back, and even for visitors, guests, tourists to invest in Crooked Island.
Right now, the issue of a reliable portable supply of water for the island is a great challenge. Some efforts are on the way to facilitate this, but it's limited to just, I think, two of the major settlements, which is Colonel Hill and Cabbage Hill. And so if you could have that extended throughout the island, that would be a great benefit. The other issue is the road, they are just repairing it in the bad spots, so to speak. And so if we could have the type of road infrastructure that they're using throughout the island, that would be a tremendous boost as well for the community of Crooked Island.
41. There's a symbol of the British Empire. And what's that date? That was
19. 1741.
These are cannons from where?
One of that, please.
Hi, I'm Davriel, and welcome to Rev Tips, where we answer your most important Rev service questions. Today, I want to talk to you about the exciting new REVGO Play app. But how does it work? Well, you start by opening a Cable Bahamas My account, so you can take your TV everywhere. Here's a few notes to get you started watching TV on the go. Step 1. Create a Cable Bahamas My account. Step 2. Download the latest version of the REVGO Play app from the Google Play or iTunes App Store. Step 3. Log into the app using your email and My account password. Step 4. Enjoy your REV TV on the go. Well, that's our Rev tip for today. Be sure to join us next time for more information on how to get the best out of all your Rev services.
Hey, na-na, ay, na-na. Hey, na-na, ay, na-na. Gimme, 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 gimme. Gimme the music. Gimme, 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 gimme. Gimme the goombay. Gimme, 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 gimme. Give me Rick and Scream. Gimme, 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 gimme. Give me the jump canoe. Gimme, 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 gimme. Give me my culture. Hey, na, na.
The only other stop from here would probably be another island, maybe Lutra or Providence, Cat Island, or somewhere up there before they stop and get another supply of water. And again, this is the Crooked Island passes that passes through here. So you've had boaters that stop there on Long Key, get fresh supplies of whatever it is back then, maybe food, ale. They didn't call it beer back then. Yeah.
If we can have some of our Crooked Islanders return home to do some investing, put up different businesses that we don't have, you know, or just come and build a vacation home and come and spend a little money with the natives here on the island. You know, they can give back a little, have a little more tourists comes in, you know, on a regular basis.
Marcia Gibson shares a view held by many Crooked Islanders, old and young.
I think that if it, you know, had more employment on the island, more of the younger people would have stayed. And because when I started, I had a lot of young people around, but when they reached school leaving age, they all left and then went to Nassau.
It's a decades-old cycle that has left a population of less than 300.
I am hoping that if things were to pick up, some of those Crooked Islanders would come home, who want to come home, and try to get employment. And that would be a help, because many of the students who graduate from high school, they go to Nassau, and, you know, some of them don't go to college, and so they're probably right in Nassau working, you know, doing all sorts of other jobs that they could find, and maybe willing to come home if they can get even similar type jobs and similar type pay, may wish to come home.
Because there's no jobs. So they cannot stay because there's nothing here to do. It's a sad thing, but if we could only have just one or two small investment, we don't need anything big, because, you know, with the bigger investment, then we'll have more crime. And we don't want to get like some of the islands or even like Nassau. We want to keep it sweet, like sweet Crooked Island.
And that's a commonly held perspective, controlled and small developments that will complement this unspoiled habitat. The rapid developments on some other islands and the environmental damage that has ensued has not gone unnoticed by the people of this southern jewel.
I would like to see Crooked Island come to a point where we have more persons come back home to reside. You know, we need some more development, but we don't want it overflux like the other islands, wherein you got persons coming to your island and you don't know who they are. You know, because right now, you know everybody on the island. And you can imagine you get so much development until you got the influx of people coming in and you don't know who is who. We wouldn't want to see that here, but, you know, we'd like a little bit more development so person will have an opportunity to work and support their family and to live comfortably.
We are encouraging persons to try and group themselves to invest in the fishing industry as well as the small hotel industry. And if we could have some of our own people utilizing or investing in these areas, I believe the growth potential for the island will be tremendous. Because right now everybody is just dependent on central government or local government.
In a few years, I would like for Crooked Island to really be the gem of the Southern Bahamas. I think it has the potential to do it. Crooked Island has the beauty. It has the good attitude of the persons. It has the land. It has the scenery. It is picturesque. All we need is that airlift services. We need the mailboat services. We need some improvement with the telecommunication system, and I would say that Cricket Island could really be the gem.
For an island that holds so much promise, it would seem like a dock and more airlift are an easy fix. But for the generation of Robert Gibson Jr. and Antonico Gibson, these problems are symptomatic and a manifestation of decades of neglect in this part of the country. Providing essential services for a handful of residents will come with a hefty price tag. But as these men and many others like them have come to realize, the only way to keep their island home alive is to throw a real and tangible lifeline. For them, Forever Crooked Island is more than just a movement. It's the key to the future survival of this place.
The last time I was here in Landrell Point, it was in the days following Hurricane Joaquin. A lot has happened since then. The island, for the most part, has fully recovered from that hurricane, and the folks here are hoping that, much like the hurricane recovery, they can make an economic recovery. They tell me that they want Crooked Island to take its rightful place, to have the descendants, residents, inhabitants come back and really make this place a true island home for the many who have come through here. Well, we hope that you've enjoyed this edition of On the Record. As you can tell, I've worked really hard to bring you this show. And we certainly hope that the next time we're in Crooked Island, we're going to tell a much different story. Hope you've enjoyed our show. We'll see you next time.